let's craft. That was quite ferocious, wasn't it? Sometimes you just have to crack on and craft because it's Christmas. So hi, I'm Deborah, welcome to MoggyBoxCraft. I'm going to be showing you how I made Christmas wreaths. Shall I turn down the light so you can see this better? I'm going to be showing you how I made one of this giant light up Christmas wreaths. For what purpose, I don't know. A window? A backdrop? A feature wall? For photos? I don't think it really matters. What matters is we're going to get the glue gun back out. Because glue guns are life. It's like a craft essential, isn't it? I'm going to turn my lights back up. We should probably get cracking. What are you going to need? You're going to need yourself a couple of hula hoops, or just one hula hoop. I got a pack of 3 because it was the cheapest option. What I'm trying to do this year for Christmas is go through all my Christmas decorations I already have, all my crafts, and just try to reuse and repurpose as much as I can without actually having to buy more tat that I don't really need, but I can repurpose and make it look a little bit nicer. So you're going to need some hula hoops. You're going to need your hula hoops. Obviously, you're going to need a glue gun. Essential. I've also got a box of like different Christmas decorations and scrap fabric. I've also got some old tinsel. These little strips of fabric I've taken off the jellyfish I made last year, so completely unassembled my jellyfish, and I'm going to repurpose all the bits from that, hopefully. So I've got all this leftover material. I then have some LED light up wire lights. I bought this for another project again, for a backdrop. They were on my backdrop. I've taken them off and we're going to use them too. And then lots of random baubles. And I think that pretty much sums it up. I don't know what the best way is going to be to show you guys this, but we're going to just try our best, okay? I couldn't find hula hoops in just white, and if they were, they're too expensive. So one I've already made, so I'm now going to make one to match it, or at least try to match it to resemble. So first thing I've got is this old bit of like, I think it's kind of like a felty type material. Anyway, I used up my jellyfish last year. If you want to see how I made my jellyfish, I shall pop a link in the description box below and you can check out that video here. And know that things are getting repurposed when they're not needed anymore. First thing I'm going to do is just take strips of this white felt stuff because I really want to cover up the yellow on my hula hoop. Because these bits were already cut, I'm just cutting off these little bits with our trusty glue gun that's covered in, oh my god, I've already got glue stuck to me. Oh, I'm a liability. All you want to do, glop a glue on your hula hoop, stick on your fabric, get a little bit extra glue on these edges, stick that down there as well. And I'm just going to take this material and I'm just going to wrap it around my hula hoop to try and hide the yellow colour. And then every so often, pop on a bit more glue and then wrap your fabric into it. Just to keep everything in place really. So yeah, just keep wrapping your fabric around. Just try to overlap it. A little blob of glue, stick the end down. We've got like a mummified hula hoop. My god, I think I've either had too much coffee today or not enough gin. I've had no gin. So continue doing this until your hula hoop is completely covered with a nice mummified white bandage. I've now completely covered the hula hoop with material and lots of glue gun glue. So next what I'm going to do is grab my tinsel. So again, I have no idea where this stuff came from, but it's quite cute with like little stars in. So we're going to do the same thing with the tinsel that we did with the material. I'm going to wrap the tinsel around about 1/3 of my hula hoop. Oh my god, I think I've got tinsel in my eye or fluff. What is my life? I'm going to cover about 1/3 of my hula hoop. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but it's the dogs. So yeah, if in that note, if you do hear any scruffling, sneezing, wheezing, I mean it could be the dogs, but it could also be the wash machine, the outside traffic. I don't know yet. I've not edited any of the films that I've filmed in here yet. Does that even make sense? So I don't know what you'll all hear. Let's just crack on, shall we? Because we're going to be here all night. Get your tinsel. We'll have a glue in there. Put your tinsel in. Let it dry a little bit. Put a blob of glue down there. And then very carefully wrap my tinsel around the hula hoop into the glue, hopefully holding it in place. So just pop a little bit of glue on, not too far, so you don't want it to dry before you kind of twist your tinsel into it. And keep wrapping your tinsel around until you've covered about a third of your hula hoop. Now you've got a third of your hula hoop covered with tinsel. The next bit is really time consuming. Just grab yourself a box of Christmas baubles. Ideally use baubles that you're not going to want to hang on your tree again. Yeah, so get your bauble, and I quite like to pull these bits off. To make it a little bit easier to attach the baubles to the tinsel, I like to take these bits off because I think it helps the baubles not stick out quite so much. Go ahead, pull off all the little ends of your Christmas baubles. What I like to do is kind of do one side at a time. I want to make both sides look nice because if it's in a window, you're going to see it from the outside and the inside when your curtains aren't drawn. So to stick your baubles on, you've ripped off the top of your bauble so it won't hang up anymore. So just put a very generous amount of glue on the top of your bauble and just stick it onto your tinsel. Some of these baubles will stay in place quite easily. Others you're going to have to hold in place for a while, which is a tiny bit tedious. But I promise you, it is worth it. Start with the biggest baubles first. Good bit of glue on there, you'll probably see it better with this one. And then just stick them into the tinsel. Obviously, be really careful not to burn yourself. I'm starting with all the bigger baubles, and I start with the bigger baubles into the middle and sort of just work my way out. Right, I've stuck on the biggest baubles. As you can see, they're pretty spaced out. That's the other side. So what I'll do now is take slightly smaller baubles, like the medium-sized baubles, and start popping them in between. Take them out a little bit further. Same idea, just pop a little bit of glue on your bauble, stick it into the tinsel, and hold it until it doesn't fall off. So I'll go with sort of medium-sized baubles compared to the bigger ones. And I'm just going to pop them all in here, all random ones, and just fill up some of the spaces. And then we'll go in with the dinky tinky tiny ones and then fill up some of these spaces in here. So now you've spent a good lot of time gluing lots of baubles onto your Christmas wreath. It sort of tapers out from the middle to the sides. A little crescent moon type shape. It's time to add some lights. So this is the lights I've picked. Again, these lights I've repurposed from a backdrop. So I'm going to quickly check if these batteries work. I'm going to change the batteries in these and make sure they still work. They work! I've untangled them, retangled them, a lot of tangling. But they now have working batteries. These guys do come with a remote control. It's just that this remote control doesn't seem to work with this one's. And I don't know where the remote control is. But I'll find it eventually. But for now, at least we can press the button. These lights are like on this little bendy copper wire. I'm not going to glue these onto my Christmas wreath. I can't say that word tonight at all. Christmas wreath. I still have retainers, okay? Or whatever you want to call them, Invisalign. So because it's on like a little metally wire, flexible wire thing, I'm not going to glue it to my Christmas wreath, my hula hoop. I'm just going to wind it around. A little wire. Just going to whirl it around, tuck it in itself. And then I'm very boringly, just painstakingly, just going to wind this wire all around without tangling the wire. So you just keep wrapping your wire around. You get the gist, right? Just keep wrapping the wire around until you've wrapped all of them, or at least the other sides. Turn on the light so you may see this a little bit better. Oh, and that's the dog snoring in the hallway. Coming up. Hi, dude. You just sit there and relax, buddy. But remember, no licking, no sneezing, no wheezing. I've got a fair amount of lights left there. All I've done just wound all the way around the hula hoop. Obviously there's none through any of this yet. So all I'm going to do is continue winding through the bubbles. You just have to be a little bit more careful about where you're placing them, because I kind of want to try my best to hide the wires. Yeah, so just take your wire and just loop it around all your bubbles. And just keep working your wire through the bubbles. And hopefully you'll end up in a place where you can hide the battery pack. So my intention is to try and hide the battery pack, I think, under here somewhere, and hide it with a couple of snowflakes. So you just carry on winding your lights all through the bubbles and try to finish at a place where you can hide the battery pack. So I've finished winding the lights in there. So up close, don't know if you can see the wires, just running all the way through the bubbles. I can hide my battery pack just in that little section there. So next I'm going to cover up some of the wiring for our lights. I've got little scrap pieces of fabric. Again, these were from my jellyfish last year. The material is kind of like it's a bit like a mesh material. Same idea with all the wrapping we've done. Tiny bit of glue gun glue just down there. Press the edge of this material in there. I don't want to completely cover up these lights. I want this all to shine through nicely. Don't double up the material too much. Twist the material around, but you still want all the lights to pretty much mostly shine through. That'll save your lights getting caught in anything as well, hopefully. So I might just pop a little bit of glue in here. Tiny bit of glue, try and avoid the wires, and that'll just keep everything in place and secure as you're going. So carry on wrapping your sort of mesh material around until you've completely finished wrapping the area that doesn't have any bubbles on it. So now we've got our bubbles, our tinsel, all this is now wrapped. So lastly, I'm going to add these little snowflakes. Plastic snowflakes with little glittery tiny tinsels on them. I'm just going to put a tiny little blob of glue on the end here, and I'm just going to stick them in randomly where I think it'll look nice. There's no proper order to this. I feel like it's just a random visual guide, but at least if you want to give it a bash, gives you an idea of what you might need and how you might do it. Blob of glue in the end. Don't need much to get these things reasonably secure. And then just pop in the snowflake. Stick them whenever you think it's going to look nice. Just continue sticking on snowflakes wherever you think they look best until you've got either no more snowflakes or you think you've got enough on. So I think I've finished sticking on all my snowflakes. The last thing I'm going to do is on my battery pack. It's actually quite a cool little battery pack. It's got like little clips on it, so it opens really easily. So all I'm going to do is take a little blob of glue on my snowflake there, stick that on to the back of my battery pack, and stick one on each side in the vague hope that it helps conceal the battery pack when they're hanging up. Maybe just a little blob of glue on the back of your battery pack, stick on your snowflake. I mean, it's not the best disguise, is it? But it does make it a little bit better. I've just squished the battery pack in there, so I'm just going to glue it in place, and hopefully I will still be able to change the batteries somehow. I've just popped the battery pack in here. Christmas wreaths are all finished. I feel like I thought, could I hula with these? I don't recommend hula hooping with these anymore. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial on how I made my giant Christmas wreath for a window display, or whatever purpose you see fit to use them for. Do feel free to share this video with anyone that you think might find it useful, helpful, or just entertaining. Subscribing is optional, but it's very much appreciated. Did I say we're going to go and see what they look like now? Let's go do that, shall we? I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on these giant window Christmas wreaths, or for whatever purpose you find useful to use them for. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hopefully this is still recording. If it isn't, it's gonna be a really weird ending. Isn't it always a weird ending? It's okay, don't panic. Crafting is an adventure. It's like life lessons, you know. Always learning.